The containment field hummed softly in the corner of the research vessel's medical bay. Inside it, curled into a ball of iridescent fur and trembling limbs. Sut Specimen X7, though Emma refused to call it that anymore. Her name is Luna, Emma had insisted 3 weeks ago. When the salvage team first brought the creature aboard, Jack had stood beside her then, arms crossed, his jaw tight. Emma, it's a creche juvenile. You know what the creche did to Epsilon Colony? To New Terra, to your sister. Emma knew. God, she knew. The creche empire had swept through human space like a plague, their war fleets reducing entire worlds to ash. They took no prisoners. They offered no mercy. When humanity finally pushed them back, it was only because the creche had overextended, their supply lines collapsing under the weight of their own conquest. But this creature, this child had been found alone in the wreckage of a creche frigate, half-starved and shaking with fear. She's just a cub, Emma had whispered, watching the small alien press herself against the far wall of the containment field. 6 eyes wide with terror. Now, 3 weeks later, Emma sat cross-legged outside the field, a data pad in her lap displaying creche biological requirements. Jack leaned against the doorway, watching her with that same conflicted expression he'd worn since they'd made the decision not to space the creature. Luna had grown bolder over the days. She no longer cowered when Emma approached. She'd even started mimicking human sounds, though. The translator couldn't make sense of the high-pitched whistles and clicks that passed for creche speech at her developmental stage. You shouldn't get attached, Jack said quietly. Too late. Emma tapped the field controls and a small opening appeared. She slid a bowl of the nutrient paste they'd synthesized through the gap. Luna's ears, delicate, translucent things that caught the light like stained glass, perked up. She crept forward on 4 legs. Her movements cautious but curious. Jack pushed off from the doorway and knelt beside Emma. His expression had softened. Despite his warnings, she'd caught him talking to Luna when he thought no one was watching. His voice gentle as he explained the stars beyond the VIEWPOR. Luna reached the bowl and began eating, her forked tongue darting out to taste the paste. Then she did something new. She looked up at Emma and Jack, and through the translator embedded in the containment field, a child's voice emerged, halting, uncertain but unmistakably a question. Why? Keep? Me? Emma's breath caught. Jack's hand found hers, squeezing tight. The cub continued, her 6 eyes blinking in a pattern Emma had learned meant confusion. KRESH. Killed. Humans. I am. Creche. Why? Not killed. The question hung in the air like a physical weight. Emma felt tears burning in her eyes. She thought of her sister, of the colony ships that never made it home, of the thousands, millions who had died in the war. She thought of every reason she should hate this creature, every justification for turning away, but when she looked at Luna, all she saw was a child who'd lost everything. Because you're ours, Emma said, her voice breaking. A tear slipped down her cheek. Because you're ours now. Jack's hand tightened on hers. She glanced at him and saw tears tracking down his face. Too stoic, unshakable Jack, who'd lost his entire platoon to a creche ambush on Arcturus Prime. The creche who hurt us, Jack said, his voice rough. They're not you. You didn't choose this war. You didn't choose to be born into an empire built on conquest. He wiped his eyes with his free hand. We keep you because that's what humans do. We protect the ones who can't protect themselves. Luna tilted her head, a gesture Emma had learned meant she was processing something difficult. Even enemy young? Especially enemy young, Emma said. She deactivated the containment field entirely. Jack tensed beside her, but didn't protest. Because maybe that's how wars really end. Not with the last shot fired, but with the first child saved. Luna took a tentative step forward, then another. She was small enough to fit in Emma's arms, barely the size of a terrier. Up close, her fur shimmered with colors humans didn't have names for, and her 6 eyes reflected the medical bay's lights like tiny galaxies. She climbed into Emma's lap, her body vibrating with a sound that might have been purring or might have been crying. Emma wrapped her arms around the small alien and held her close. The council's going to have questions, Jack said softly. The military's going to want her studied. Some people are going to call us traitors. Let them. Emma pressed her cheek against Luna's soft head. The cub's trembling had stopped. I've spent 3 years fighting monsters. I'm done. If the price of my humanity is that I save one life instead of taking another, then that's a price I'll pay. Jack nodded slowly. He reached out and gently stroked Luna's back, his calloused hands surprisingly gentle. We'll both pay it. Luna made a chittering whistle that the translator rendered as something between a laugh and a sob. She looked up at them both, and when she spoke again, her voice was clearer. Mine? She asked. I am ... yours, are you? Mine? Emma's tears came freely now. Yes, little one. We're yours too. That's what family means. Outside the viewport, the stars turned slowly. The war was over, the Kresh Empire scattered and broken. But here, in this small medical bay on a salvage vessel at the edge of human space, something new was beginning. A Kresh cub, 2 human soldiers, and the radical, revolutionary act of choosing love over hate. That, Emma thought, was the most human thing of all. Come on, Jack said, standing and offering Emma his hand. Let's get her some real food. And we need to start teaching her to read. She's clever. Did you see how fast she picked up the translator protocols? Emma laughed through her tears, Luna still cradled in her arms. We're really doing this, aren't we? Raising a Kresh child? We're really doing this, Jack confirmed. He smiled, a real smile, the first she'd seen from him since before the war. Because she's ours. Luna chirped happily, and for the first time since the war began, Emma felt something that might have been hope.